cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers. It is Friday, February 15th at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're watching Low Shack in the Bag Show. My name is Jimmy the Bag. My partner, the legend, Lodo's Low Shack, is not with us today, but will be back soon. But not before I go to Los Angeles next week. I am enormously pumped about LA. I can't get too pumped up because I got to stay calm or I will lose my voice. But I'm enormously pumped up. Monday, I'll be shooting live at Santa Anita. LoBagger X Factors hooked us up with 3 boxes. We're going to fill that with 12 LoBaggers. We're going to have LoBaggers in the infield. We're going to have LoBaggers all over the place at Santa Anita where I will be shooting live, the Late Show Live. And then we have huge hookups set up by our man DJ Big Boss. You're going to see all your favorite guys. And we're going to get to see the faces of some of these guys. That's what I'm excited about. I've seen, Trot Wham, DJ Big Boss, Whale Capper, Jay Money's Money, Ski Profit, King Rail. We've seen them, but who we haven't seen are guys like Noli Knows and Parlay Poppy and Dave. We have seen Dave LA. Dave LA did one video, but I just want to I want to see more of these guys that we hear from so much in the chat. So I'm so excited. Thursday, we are at the Lit Lounge in LA. Friday, we're at Dames and Games Topless Sports Bar. Saturday, we're at the Parlor where we'll be watching the Lakers game and then the Warriors game all together. I'm very, very excited. First off, shout out to all the cappers in the LoBag chat. Shout out to Rosie, R-Dub, Ryan Campbell, Nutflush Allen, who'll be rolling with in LA, Michael Holthauser, Headshot, Vinny Cornell, Dean Williams, Christopher Money's in the house. Oh, man, Christopher Money's stuck in Toronto, -17. Man, I know what that's like. Ricardo Gutierrez in the house. Joe Ramirez. Corey Mack. Corey Mack just started his Twitter handle. Corey Mack's finally on Twitter. The cat with us on Twitter. So I followed him immediately, and I retweeted him. Corey Mack is now on Twitter. Jam Man in the house, whom I love dearly. Jam Man in the house. Look at Mally Mal, Nick the Slick, Chase Baker, Parlay Poppy, who I just spoke of, who we'll be rolling with in Los Angeles. Donnie Sander. Look at this group, man. Chase Baker, Sean Colve, Charles Barkley, Elliot Veek, Cash Action Bets, JD, Odar Lira, Hobart Herberger, Rizzler 7, Sacktown King, Base Kniff, Mally Mal, Allen Action, Coco Bongo, Flipper 13, Ron Lofton. What a great, great group. Elio Topset in the house. What a great, great group. Okay, so this is what's up. We have a small card here that we can bang out. I've already made 3 plays on the NHL card. We'll talk a little bit about maybe jumping on the over in the Rangers-Buffalo game. We'll talk about that briefly. And then Maxwell Smart joining us in 10 minutes. We'll have Maxwell Smart, and we'll hammer each and every one of these college basketball games to find us some winners. And I like it. I like it. Parlay Poppy says the parlor in LA, wow, so many members. You're going to make more, Parlay Poppy. You're going to make more. Shout out to Pick Machine, Eric Jones, Elliot V. All right, let's get to work, and let's first see if there's been any line movement. And I'd like to hear Leroy Flood in the house. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about this Rangers-Sabres game. Because first off, I can understand taking the Sabres -1.5. I can understand the value taking the Rangers money line. That means you're a bad capper. That also means stay off the game. And that's what I'm doing. But the over, I find very, very interesting, very, very appealing. And all this money is coming on the under. And I only go against market moves like that when I'm really confident. Oh, wow, a 5.5 at Heritage. Oh, wow, a 5.5 at Heritage? Let's see what Bet Online is dropping. Okay, let's see what, Bet 365 plus 105. They're saying that Ullmark and Georgiev are playing so well. To me, that looks like there's value on that over. Wow, Coco Bongo going heads up with me, taking the under 6 in the minigame. And Coco Bongo, if, you're a great capper, and who knows who's going to win this game tonight. But if it goes over again in the Wild action, if the Wild game goes over again, I'm telling you, they have no sentiment. My man Dylan Johnson, Dylan sent me a bunch of really interesting stuff today. I'm going to pull out on Twitter about that game, but I'll wait till we get in that game. Alan actually says Sabres haven't won 2 games in a row in 2 months. Red Girls leaning under in Buffalo too. I find that now, remember yesterday, we got to the Late Show and we saw all this money coming in on the under in the Panthers Flames, which surprised us, and then sure enough, it goes way under. Parlay Poppy says, I'm on the under first period at plus 105 and Rangers first period. Sabres have scored 2 total goals in the first period in the last 5 games. This is a great line for underdog Rangers on first period. I feel that, Parlay Poppy. Molly Mall liking the Sabres to win. Molly Mall saying New York City teams are bad, or New York teams really are bad. Wow, God, I feel like that's I think there's a ton of value on that over, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to stay off Rangers, Sabres. Yo is on the Sabres and the Hurricanes. Well, let's take a look at this Hurricane spot that I did jump on. I guess I'm just going to stay off of it. I certainly think that there's value. Elliot V says Georgiev is a beast. Remember, Georgiev has a 3.11 goals against average, 905 save percentage. He's been playing like a beast lately. There's no doubt about that. So I'm going to stay off of it. Parlay Poppy says first period Rangers a plus 20 grabbed immediately. I get it. And that first line straight fire. We talked about that on the early show. Listen to these numbers. Zuccarello, 19 points his last 12 games, multi-points in 6 of his last 11, 24 points last 25. Look at Zibanejad. 13 goals in his last 11 games. There's no hockey player on the planet. No hockey player on the planet that's been rolling like Zibanejad is rolling right now. So, all right. I'm off it. I'm off it. Okay, let's move on. And Parlay Poppy's taking Hurricanes 60 minutes money line at minus 109. I'm taking Hurricanes minus 1.5 at plus 155. And you can't get that anymore. That's nice to see. Heritage still hanging a plus 150, but look at Bet Online plus 140. Oh, 5 Dimes still hanging a plus 150. Pinnacle plus 142. Can't get that plus 155 anymore. I understand the Hurricanes are in a bad spot just because it's their first game back after a road trip, but they're coming from Ottawa, not too far away. I think the Oilers are just a sad, sad hockey team, and that's what I'm hammering against. Almaning says, I like Anaheim. 5-0 against Boston, 8-3 last 11 after winning the match. I count on motivation on their side. Almaning, there's definitely going to be motivation on their side. My play, fading Anaheim, taking Bruins minus 1.5, is my prediction is Kevin Boyle comes back to earth. 27-year-old journeyman. I believe he's 27. I don't have that in front of me. I believe he's 27-year-old journeyman. Ooh, there's a reason why he hasn't been in the NHL. He has a magical first game, and I just think he comes crashing down to earth. So I'm on the Hurricanes minus 1.5. I'm on the Bruins minus 1.5, but we'll get to that. I'm on the Devils Wild over 6. Let's see what the market moves being there quickly. Devils Wild total. I'm on the over 6, and that was a plus line. I got plus 102, and you can't get that anymore. So we're beating line moves, and I guess that's all you can ask for. You know, that's sort of from the LoShack University. All you can really ask for is to beat these line moves and see what happens. So we have a plus 100 still at Heritage, but there's no 102s anymore. Minuses across the board on the over 6, New Jersey, Minnesota. And then quickly, I'm just going to go over a couple things I was talking about with my man Dylan. We were talking about this game extensively. And we were saying how a lot of people, obviously looking at this game, would think, wow, listen, this is the simple spot here. You got to take the Minnesota Wild. And my talk on the early show was just about how many centers they're missing. They have one true center in their lineup, Eric Stahl. And I was saying, well, how can they win faceoffs? So look at this game. Against the Flyers, look how many people took faceoffs. Coyle, Eriksson, Eric Furr, Foligno, Granlund, Greenway, Kunin, Rask. But Rask got hurt 2 minutes in. Stahl. Look at that. They have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys taking faceoffs. To me, that's just mayhem. That's just absolute mayhem. That means that not only are you going to lose most of the faceoffs because you got guys who don't usually take them, but you're going to have players playing out of position. You're going to have no accountability. You're going to have players confused. That to me just spells goals. And then look at Dylan. Dylan was like, so we were breaking it down. And Dylan was like, yeah, but then look at their next game when they played against the Devils. Minnesota beat the Devils in New Jersey 4-2. And in that game, again, there was no Koivu, and so there was a bunch of guys taking faceoffs. But Eric Stahl dominated. He went 11-5, and somehow Charlie Coyle went 6-1. So it didn't hurt them. And we know that Hersher is bad at faceoffs. When you look at the Devils' faceoffs in that game, their young kids got beaten up in the faceoff circle. Hersher went 5 wins, 8 losses, and Zacha went 3-6. Zajac still had a good game. I just think that even if these centers these players who don't usually take faceoffs, take the faceoffs and do okay, they're going to be out of position at first. They're going to be confused. Now, saying all that, I'm not going to jump on the Wild. I'm not going to jump on the Devils, even though they have the value. What I am going to do is take the over 6 and enjoy it. And look at Parlay Poppy, no centers, Stahl, that's it. Parlay Poppy on the Devils plus 1.5 at minus 120. I get that play. But I think, I would definitely make a move. Personally, I would make a move for the score and just take them on the money line. But that could turn out to be a great, great play, Parlay Poppy. The Herb says Wild has Granlund, who came up as a center. Coyle plays better at center. I don't know if Coyle does. He's looked okay. And Eriksson is on fire recently to go with Stahl there, deep there. The Herb, we were breaking this down all afternoon. I still think you're going to have players who aren't comfortable in the spot. And Gay Pesky says, Jimmy, you can also win a lot of draws because you have unfamiliar styles. Face-off specialists are a bit of an illusion in hockey. Very interesting stuff. Gay Pass, I hear what you're saying there. I'm just saying that, and Herb says Coyle's played 2/3 of the year at center. I was reading an interview last week where Coyle was saying that that he's a winger and that they were moving him over to center only because of the Koivu injury. But the Herb, Granlund has played over half his career at center. And I feel you guys. I hear what you're saying, and we broke this all down. Now, and Headshot is with me. That's Dylan right there. I just feel like they're playing players in certain spots that haven't been there all year. I still think that the Wild, I almost took the Wild this morning. And I hear what you guys are saying. Just feel like there's going to be some uncomfort with this Wild team with all these guys taking faceoffs. You have 9 guys taking faceoffs. I mean, that's just not a recipe for winning. So that's what's up. Ricardo Gutierrez also on the over 6. I'm Billy Babbles' web, Jimmy, following your Canes. No more over-under for me. I'm getting hurt daily. If you stick with these plus lines, and you guys remember, we'll have the records updated as soon as I get back from LA and the legend Pete will be back. But I had a plus 154 average line, which is where I do my best work on the puck lines. So then we have the Hurricanes minus 1.5. Let's quickly look at the Hurricanes minus 1.5. Let's see if that was a spread that I beat as well. A plus 155. Oh, we already looked at that. Sorry, when I talking about, we're already on the over. So then I have Boston minus 1.5. You could get a plus 146 at 5 dimes. That's the best you could get. And what did I get this morning? I got plus 151. So look, I beat 3 line moves. That's all you can ask for. And I'm comfortable with it. Now, Bruins are in a bad spot, flying all the way across the continent. But I think that Boyle's just going to come back to earth. That's the main reason why I'm making this bet. I don't like taking teams on the first game of a road trip when they've traveled across the country. Remo says, and Dubnyk has struggled in February badly. We got that information from my man TK gave us that information earlier today. And I don't have it in front of me, but I believe he's got a 3.22 goals against average in his career against the Devils and a 3.00 goals against average in February. So that's what's up, man. That's what's up. Gay Pasky says it's the same thing as why you need to pull a goalie at the end of the second period with 20 seconds left. In reality, no different than at the end of the third. We are programmed for big finishes, illusions. Man, I love capping with you, Gay Pasky. Sean Childress says 8-0 tennis so far today. Love seeing that. So, and he says, and Chris Temple, goalies are like pitchers. And Mally Mouse says, Poppy, I'm seeing the other goalie expected for the Canes. Really? I was thinking it was Mrazek all day. Is that not the case? Let's just find that out, and then we'll move on to college basketball and hammer that for the rest of the card. I was really under, let's see. Wow, McElhaney confirmed. He looked good on Tuesday, but he looked terrible before that. Interesting. McElhaney's won 3 in a row while landing just 6 goals. So maybe he didn't look that bad. Let's go over McElhaney's last few games because, I saw he got lit up badly in that one game. Let's get to it quickly. Sorry here. McElhaney. Let's get man, I hate this new site. I don't have McElhaney's last few games, but obviously 6 goals on 88 shots, 932 save percentage. I would have McElhaney in goal all the time. All the time, I would have McElhaney in goal over Mrazek every day of the week. So I like that. Gate pass keys on Buffalo puck line here. I almost made a pink eye genie back. No more butt stuff. Jimmy, get well soon. Shout out to Pink Eye Genie. Not only an excellent capper, but also spreading pink eye awareness. Mally Mouse says fade Boyle. It's the same idea. Probably Poppy says superstar Pasternak. Boston on the bench. Out of the lineup, I can easily see an under if we get Boyle in that. I at one point I thought about the under, but then I got off of it. Love the way Danton Heinen's playing on that line. I also love the way Marchand has stepped up. Marchand's going to have the puck at all times. He's going to be the guy they look for at all times. And that's what he wants to do. And Dan Heinen, all he's going to do all game is look for Marchand. And Marchand came off a goal and 3 assists last game. He's going to have another big game. Parlay Poppy said, Boyle, good in AHL, strongly disagree. We'll wait to see him get crushed first. I hear that, Parlay Poppy. I get it. Gabe Pasquille also on the Bruins puck line. And that's what's up. That's what's up. So, and Poppy also saying, with Boston being one of the worst goal-scoring teams, 28th in the league, if Boyle's in net, I'll bite on Boyle one more time. I don't think he gets lit up by Boston in the current form. I'm on the under. You know, this is what makes capping so much fun. Let's take a look at, but you have Boston 28th. That must be road goal scoring because they're 17th in the league goals per game at 2.93. They have the second-rate power play in the NHL at 26.8%. So I guess you're talking 28th on the road. Okay. Dave LA says, make sure to bring rain gear. Dave LA, I was looking at the weather, and it's cold. It's going to be cold in LA, but it's going to be sunny Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. It's just 14 degrees high, but I'll take it. Okay. That's what's up. That's the NHL card. One more time. Bruins -1.5 at +151. Wild over 6 at +102. And Hurricanes -1.5 at +155. And I know my man Cap in Susana, he's on Oilers money line, Devils money line, and Ducks money line. And he's also on Ducks to win in regulation, Devils to win in regulation, and Oilers to win in regulation for a big score. And that's road, Parlay. Yeah, I feel you, Parlay. That's I feel you, road. Okay, Mr. Puckline in the house. And Mr. Puckline was saying they're giving up 4 goals a game on the road. Oh, you know, I guess I messed that up in my head because I was thinking they were scoring 4 goals a game. They're giving up 4 goals a game. Thank you for clearing that up, Mr. Puckline. And Dom Ricci says Buffalo 11-30 in last 41 after allowing 2 goals. Interesting. Chris Temple saying Boston's starting to come together now for a stretch run. I agree with that, Chris Temple. I like this NHL card. Trevor Loudon in the house. He's on Boston puckline and Buffalo in regulation. A lot of us are on Boston. I just think Boyle's going to come back to earth. So that's what's up. So that's the NHL card. And now we get to this college basketball card coming off another winning day for the LoBaggers. Also handing out a LoBag pick of the day winner that covered Northern Colorado. I got -13.5. You could have got a -14 market. I bet them at -14. And what they win by almost 30 points. Maxwell Smart in the house. 5th show of the week, Maxie. You've been doing a hell of a job on the show. We love you.
It wasn't until 2018 that the diamond in the rough went from hooligan to king of the world.
Oh, we're going with the graph for sure.
The guy couldn't play for shit, dog. For sure. He was awful. But can he cap? Yes, he can.
What's going on, Jimmy? Thanks very much for having me tonight. Definitely ready and excited to cap this Friday night card. We got some really nice marquee matchups. And I think that we need to start with Toledo and Buffalo, if I may make a suggestion.
Yes, absolutely. The biggest game on the card, Buffalo at Toledo. A ton of people on the early show coming out of the woodwork, liking Toledo, hearing it all over the place. SBR Drew liking Toledo. We have Lamont Williams, Max bet of the day, and now he's hit the last 2 in a row, liking Toledo. Now, Max, the question is, do you like Toledo?
Well, this was a really interesting first game, and I actually have it PVR'd, so I watched it over again. So, how Buffalo ended up beating Toledo by 30 points and putting them... Sorry, hold on one second.
No worries. You make power moves, Max. I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah, no. So they won by 30 points on the road. At home. And that game, I think that Toledo, I think they just ended up giving up at one point. This is a team that still scored 80 points. But when you have Buffalo hitting 15 threes... Oh, fucking motherfucker. Are you stupid or something?
It's all good, man.
Okay. Now that I dealt with my phone. They hit 15 threes last time. Jeremy Harris went 6 for 10 from 3. If you don't know about Jeremy Harris, he's their third option scorer. He's the stretch forward type player. But his 3-point percentage from last year to this year drastically went down. Last year, he was shooting 42%. This year, he's shooting closer to 28%. And he actually had a good 3-point shooting game versus Toledo. I think that was a big difference because he hit 6 threes and scored 34 points. It was one of the rare games this season where you can say that Nick Perkins, CJ Massenberg, and Jeremy Harris all had good games in the same game. I think tonight Toledo's been ready for this matchup. This is a team that's been very dominant at home. They've won 8 of the last 10 with their only losses against Kent State and against Buffalo. I think that at +4, they've been very good at this number so far, ATS this season. And I don't think that Jalen Sanford and Willie Jackson are going to go 2 for 16 from the field. This is a team that continues to get to the line. They got to shoot a higher percentage. But if you can get to the line 25 times versus Buffalo, then I think that you're in a really good spot to at least cover the 4, if not win the game. But the stronger play that I'm on, I'm with SBR Drew. He posted a very nice post with a beautiful picture of a beautiful woman. I got a little distracted by that, and I missed the 157.5, but I did take over 158 in this game.
Well, you got a great line, because this has been going up all day long. And now it's back down. Holy. Wow. I take everything back. This is coming back down. Now, Tony Donahue hit us, Max, on Twitter. He said, look at that under 160.5. It's gorgeous. Wow, look at this, Max. Unbelievable. In the last 15 minutes at Pinnacle, it's gone down 3 points. It got to a high of 161.5 at 5:36 Eastern time. That's 18 minutes ago. And 8 minutes ago, wow. In 10 minutes,
Those sharp
Max,
motherfuckers. In
10 minutes, it went down 3 points. It is now 158.5. Unbelievable. That is wild, wild stuff. Dave LA says, damn, Maxwell, a few people like the under. Cash Action Bet says under. Parlay Poppy says on the under in Buffalo. Wow, that is exciting. Up to the minute action on SBRodds.com. SBRodds.com with Pinnacle. Yesterday, this line opens up with Buffalo 2.5-point favorites. By 11:13 this morning, 3.5-point favorites. And then at 2:03, Buffalo's 4-point favorites. And then back down to 3.5 5 minutes ago. Money coming in on Toledo, and you can only get 3.5 at Toledo. Wow, that's wild, wild stuff. Barry Cohen says just took the over 159, probably hitting himself. Wow, that's very exciting. Very exciting. Now, Max, let me tell you this, and this is what I was thinking, and this is why the under, and Gerald Martinez hits it right here. Gerald Martinez says that means Toledo will control the pace. We just saw the Zips slow the pace down and give Buffalo trouble. They slowed it down as much as possible, and Buffalo had trouble with that. And that's, to me, what I think. When I look at this game, I think, man, simple. It's a simple spot. Toledo's got to do the exact same thing that Akron did. And that's why I was thinking that the under would be a spot. Now, obviously, with you on the over, I'm not going to go against you. That would make no sense to me. But what do you think? What did Akron do that gave Buffalo so much trouble other than slowing the pace down?
Akron collapsed on the guards. They were able to really help defend, and I think that they just were able to frustrate Buffalo with their non-ball movement. When you got defenders getting into position and seeing where Buffalo's going to try and take the ball next and cutting them off and forcing them into bad shots at the end of the shot clock, I think that can be very frustrating. But I don't see Toledo having the same kind of defensive capabilities that Akron does. Toledo thrives on being able to push the ball with relative pace and then trying to get open jump shots and get into the line. I think that Toledo will see what Akron did against Buffalo, but I don't think that they'll be able to replicate it.
If Buffalo loses this game, are they not in the tourney?
For an at-large bid, no. I think that you've seen the good and bad in Buffalo. Before the Akron game, I was talking big about how Nate Oates was liking the character of this team, liking the maturity, the fight in this team, and then they don't go and cover. I think that this Buffalo team is definitely going to be on red alert tonight, but I just think that Toledo Buffalo had such a good game against Toledo in that first game that there's got to be some intense situational motivation for Toledo tonight at home, where they are they're hard to beat. I do understand that the under 6-0 in their last 6 home games, but eventually those trends turn around. And I think tonight Buffalo's the right team to get that over.
Very, very, very exciting game. The big game on the card. Now, Max, you dominate with these small schools, and now we can take time and hammer each and every one of these games. I'll let you lead the way. Is there games that you're more excited about than others? Are there games that you want to start off after this Buffalo spot? What would you like to hit next?
To be quite frank, I'm not really excited by this card. I love college basketball. I follow all these teams because it's just part of my process. But I'm already looking forward to tomorrow's games, to be honest with you. When you got Kentucky versus Tennessee, with Kentucky opening as a 3-point favorite, I can't stop thinking about that game.
Well, I would love to hear your leans on the Saturday card, but for now, let's start talking cock soup, Max. Let's get pumped up about this Friday card, Max. Let's start with what I think is the most exciting next game on this card. Northern Kentucky at the Wright State Raiders. Northern Kentucky barely got by Wright State, beat them by 4. I believe it was 68-64 when they first met in early January. Now, this opened up as a pick'em. Now, Wright State is a 2-point favorite at Pinnacle, 1.5 across the board. This total has crept up from 140 to 141.5 and 142. Max, Northern Kentucky at Wright State.
It's really nice when you see a conference and the predictions from the preseason actually work out in the end. You got the top 2 teams in the Horizon League playing against each other, and this rivalry has been growing over the past couple years. The coaches are talking about, the players are talking about, everybody is ready for this game. I think that last time I was on the over and the under hit in this game. I think that I'm going to be jumping on the over in this game. I think that points are going to get scored. I think that there's going to be a lot more intensity this time around, knowing that Wright State's really got to frickin' be a lot more fluid on offense, because Northern Kentucky naturally is going to be a better team at home than they are on the road scoring-wise. And I think that tonight, my factor that's leaning towards Northern Kentucky as a side is the fact that Drew McDonald and the way that he's talking about this game, he wants this game. He's a senior right now. This is his last game possibly against Wright State, unless they meet in the Horizon League tournament. But I think that him and Sharp tonight, I think that he's going to be solid on the ball. He's going to be a solid floor general. I think Northern Kentucky goes into Wright State, sweeps the season series, and the over hits this time.
Wow. You know, there's been talk about Northern Kentucky being the play, but I'm with you. I'm with Frank Rizzo. This is the first ball. Also, Parlay Poppy says, bringing my favorite stripper to have Jimmy sign her tits and perhaps give her pneumonia so I don't have to see her again. Very interesting game plan, Parlay Poppy. Always capping this guy. Always capping. Listen, first play of the card. I wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear that the over was a play, and I am now making it. The over in Northern Kentucky at Wright State. I'm seeing an over at 141 at minus 107 at 5 times. That is the best look I can find right now, and I'm going to take it. Over 141 at minus 107 at 5 times. We are in business. I'm now in the card and ready to roll. Loving it. Okay, we like that breakdown quite a bit. And so you don't think that Ludon Love can impose his will? You think that Drew McDonald is the best player or the most dominant player on the floor?
Yeah, Drew McDonald could go inside and out, and he's not afraid to step into a 3-point shot. The key for this team, I always think, is if you step into 3-point shots, you're going to make more of them. So as long as Wright State plays not as close as I like a defensive team to play. I like my defender to be close enough to the guy that he can kiss him. So if he's not playing like that, I think Drew McDonald's going to get open tonight. I think that he's going to use his athleticism and quickness compared to some of the Wright State big men. I think that he's going to go off tonight.
Wow, great breakdown. I'm fine, man. I'm in the game. I gotta play now on this card. Okay, let's move on to another game that, to me, has so many questions. I just wanted to talk to you about this so badly. Harvard at Princeton. Both teams coming off disappointing losses. Harvard, I mean, that was just ugly. I mean, I have not jumped on Cornell yet. I know that you're interested in Cornell tonight. I've not jumped on Cornell. But, I mean, they were 10-point favorites at home, and they lose by 6. They're up 13 at the half, and they fall apart. I'm not sure what happened there. I know that Harvard's dominating against the spread in the last 5 meetings between these two teams, but Princeton 5-2 against spread in their last 7. What do you think about Harvard at Princeton? And when you look at line movement, in this spot, money coming in on Princeton, now 2.5-point favorites open at 1, and this over is shot up 6 points, Max. What do you think here, Harvard at Princeton?
Yeah, basically it comes down to the fact that Princeton just got Devin Cannady back. He's back from suspension. He came back and played in their most recent game, which I believe that they lost. It comes down to, this is probably the most entertaining and probably the hardest game to pick a side in the Ivy League tonight. But I'm going to be going with the home team. Devin Cannady's got a lot to prove. I think that this Harvard team still needs a couple games to adjust to the new hierarchy with Bryce Aiken back, who did and is coming off a 24-point game. It is hard for me to go against my trio of Canadians on Harvard, led by Noah Kirkwood. But I think that Princeton's playing fantastic defense in conference, only allowing 62 points a game. I think that it's going to be that type of scoring game tonight, and I think that 3-point defense is going to be key, and who can hit free throws. And in those two situations, I favor, and the stats favor Princeton, and that's the way I'm going to go. I'm going to take Princeton on the money line because this game reeks of last 30 seconds to decide.
I love it. Odar Lira, a man from Venezuela, liking Princeton. Cash action bets, liking Princeton. This makes sense to me. This absolutely makes sense to me. Rusty Shackelford, liking the under in this spot, says that the total went up because of Kennedy, and that's an overreaction. Fred Gialli leaning Princeton and the over. This makes sense to me. I'm going to jump on Princeton. And we saw what happened when Aiken came back with 24 points. Nobody else did anything. And they were probably sulking on the bench because when push came to shove and they needed baskets in that game, it was the Aiken show and not the Harvard show. Princeton, I'm going to jump on. I see a -2, a -109, a -2 at Heritage, a -105, and that's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take Princeton -2, a -105, available at Heritage. Beautiful. Okay, next up, Fairfield at Canisius. Fairfield coming off a 61-49 home loss to Monmouth is a 3-point favorite. Fairfield just can't score, Max. Their offense is absolutely pitiful, yet they do have nice D, but their offense is so bad. We talked about that on the early show. Let's see what kind of line movement we've had. Canisius, that's what stopped me. Earlier in the morning show, Canisius has gone from 5-point favorites all the way down to 3, but now money coming back on Canisius. They're 4-point favorites at some books, and this total's crept up by a point or a point and a half. Max, Fairfield at Canisius.
Yeah, I've already jumped on Canisius -3.5. I just think that the average bettor who's betting on this game doesn't realize Isaiah Reese is not going to be playing, or they realize that he's going to not be playing. But I think that this team, and I've said it before, I like this team better without him. I think that Malik Johnson is the triple-double type of guard that I think is a better number 2 to Kai Molson. I think that John Sanks hit a very nice clutch shot in their last win. I look for him to build off that, even though he's been shooting quite a low percentage. But it comes down to the fact that I have a soft spot for Fairfield and Neftali Alvarez, who I think is going to be a very good collegiate player after this season, and Landon Talaferro and Jesus Cruz. But the problem for Fairfield is if you're committing on average 15 turnovers a game, that means that you have a 20 turnover game every once in a while. And against a team like Canisius, who isn't going to be aggressive on ball handlers, something that they should do, but they don't do well, I think that they can really take advantage of Fairfield tonight. So basically, Canisius needs to get to the 70s to win and cover this game. They got to play good 3-point defense. They got to get to the free throw line, and they just got to cut down the fouls. Keep your arms up. Don't fucking try and dip your arms in and get all sweet and cute, because the refs are going to blow the whistle every time. So give me Malik Johnson and Takai Molson and the rest of the Canisius Golden Grips, and let's get that 3.5 points tonight.
Max jumping on Canisius, going against the market move. BidXN liking Canisius as well. Nobody coming in liking Fairfield. Fred Gialli liking the under in Fairfield. Shout out to Noah. Last arc, we got Jay Peach in the house. We got some guys I haven't seen in a while. Look, Campsite Killer in the house. Shout out to him. Taylor Nelson, Ty M. Good group. Let's keep rolling right along here. And Angel Romero joining us saying, what up, fellow low-bagger hustlers? Some Mexican soccer tonight. Stay tuned. Looking forward to hear what he is on. Max, rolling with Canisius. And then finally, when we'll talk about the other games that we were discussing on the early show. The next one would be Yale at Columbia. Columbia's lost 4 straight. We know that Yale is playing very, very good basketball right now. And then look at these stats for Columbia. Just awful. 2-6-1 against the spread in their last 9 games after a loss. 1-4 against spread in their last 5 home games against teams with a winning record. 0-4 against spread in their last 4 games against teams with a road winning percentage greater than 600. And Yale's just rolling. 8-2-1 against spread in their last 11 road games against teams with a losing home record. I mean, is this... Now, the reason why I was like, well, it can't be too easy, because Yale opens up as 9-point favorites and then goes all the way down to 7. And now coming back up, Max, it was 7 all across the board in the early show. And now Yale -8. Yale -8.5 at 5 times. -8.5 at BetOnline. Wow. Moving money coming back on the Yale. And the totals shot way up. Way up. Opened at 142, now 147.5 at Pinnacle. Max, Yale at Columbia.
Yeah, I'm jumping on Yale. I just jumped on Yale -8 at Pinnacle -112. I just think that when you got Mia Oni, you got Blake Reynolds and Jordan Bruner, this is a team that hits free throws. They're +9 on the glass. The biggest issue for me is just don't give the ball up easily. I find that their ball handlers are susceptible to steals, and that's something that's just going to give Columbia momentum at home. You don't want to amp up this Columbia crowd. I hope that it's a small crowd tonight. I think it will be a small crowd, even though it's a Friday night game versus Yale. But this is a Yale team that allows 66 points in conference. They're playing good perimeter defense, and they're playing great under 30% three-point D. So I got to just take Yale. I'm going to just I grabbed the -8 already. I'm going to also take them first half. So let's double up on Yale tonight. I could be setting myself up, but yes, this line looks too good to be true, but I'm biting the bait anyways.
Taking the bait, backing Yale, taking them first half and full game. I like it, Max. I like it. I may be making the move with you. I'm going to hold off right now. Now let's talk about St. Joseph's at Davidson. Davidson opening up at 11-point favorites at BetOnline. Now 11.5-point favorites, money coming in on them. This is another total, Max. So many of these totals have shot way up. So many of them, other than St. Peter's, have shot way up. This is another one, opens at 134.5. Now I have 137.5s and 138s. Max, St. Joseph at Davidson.
Yeah, I've already jumped on Davidson first half. I got it -4.5 and -137 at Pinnacle before it started moving up. And this line was down at 9. Now it's back up to 11.5. The fact is they understand that Davidson's going to win this game, and they're going to cover the spread. I'm taking Davidson 2 ways. They got the +9 first half scoring margin, which I really like. I do like that both teams take good care of the ball, and Jared Bynum's a very exciting freshman point guard for St. Joe's. St. Joe's, yeah, I am worried about their free throws because they do shoot 74%, and that could endanger a Davidson cover at the end of the game. But they're just allowing guys to just shoot too high of a percentage against them from the perimeter. And I just think that against a team like Davidson, they're not going to have a 1-point game against this team again. I think that they know what they're going up against. I think they're going to take it a lot more seriously, and I think that they're going to be a lot more efficient. The problem is Davidson doesn't go to the line a lot. I don't like that. I like a team to not be so predictable. And what you know about Davidson is that they rather shoot the jump shot than drive. So hopefully Luke Frampton and Luka Brzovic do some good work tonight and are good complementary pieces. And Davidson plays good defense. This is a team that only allows 60 points in conference, plays 26 3-point % defense. And I think that they're going to be able to take care of St. Joe's in a more cleaner, acceptable fashion for their status.
Are you doubling up on this spot, Max?
Yes, I am.
First half and full game on Davidson. Noah Lastark's come in and was asking about St. Joseph's first half, and he's already locked it in. Yin Kang says take Davidson. Noah Lastark, why are you on St. Joseph's first half? And he's coming in about it again. What is it about that spot that you like? Because I find that Davidson is quite appealing in this spot. I'm going to wait to hear what Noah has to say, but I think I might be joining you. I'm going to wait, though, and not make the move right now. Davidson, first half, full game, and I may make the move soon. Okay, let's keep rolling right along, Max. South Alabama at Georgia State. Moving conferences here. Georgia State opens as 8.5-point favorites, and money's coming in on them, but not a lot. 9's at Pinnacle. Pinnacle leading the way there. The total has pretty much stayed the same, around 144 all day long. Max, South Alabama at Georgia State.
Yeah, I very easily could be setting myself up right now for a very obvious loss, but I'm taking South Alabama on the spread. This is a team that 9-3 ATS in conference. Their free throw shooting does worry me, and their 3-point defense can be a little leaky at times. But I just think that if it comes down to fouling, I don't trust Georgia State to make enough free. Excuse me, I don't trust enough Georgia State to make enough free throws, and it's not a statistical spot that I'm very happy about because Georgia State hits good 3-point percentage. They play good 3-point defense, but it just comes down to the complementary pieces for Georgia State that I just don't feel that are consistently going to be there for me. So you want to give me 9 points against a team that's 9-3 ATS in conference? I'm just going to keep it simple and takes University of South Alabama.
Max backing South Alabama. Let's move on to another very interesting spot. You were liking Cornell. Matt Randall liking Cornell. Man, this opened up as a pick'em, and I was waiting for the market to move towards Cornell, and it really hasn't. 5 Dimes has Cornell -1, but a plus money. Bookmaker has a -1. Heritage has a -1. This total shot up like all the other totals on this card from 139.5 to 142.5. Max Brown at Cornell.
Yeah, you got a good one-on-one matchup in this game with Desmond Cambridge and Matt Morgan. Obviously, I'm already leaning Cornell. I think I'm only going to take them full game. I'm not going to take them first half. I think that in the first half, this team has shown most recently that they have some issues and they need that halftime pep talk to adjust, realize what they're doing wrong, and then fix it in the second half. So I'll be taking Cornell full game on the money line. I just think that they're going to play good 3-point defense at home. They have better defensive offensive scoring averages, which in this matchup, based on the elements of their scoring, basically being Cambridge versus Morgan, I think that it's just going to be really important for Cornell to limit their fouls and get to the line. They just got to be efficient on these low number of possessions because Cornell is a team that is not going to have 65 possessions in a game. You're going to see them flirt with 45 to 50 something. So I think that Cornell just has to make sure that they are aware that Brown is also a ball hawking team who forces turnovers, and they just have to do a better job on the glass. I think that they will tonight. And I think that Cornell's going to be able to find a way to pull it out.
Going with Cornell. I'm going to stay off it. Do you understand this line move towards the over here? This market move towards the over. 3 points at some books.
No, I don't have any. I have no idea what's going on with the line. I didn't really look at it that much. All
right, let's move on to Monmouth at Ryder. A lot of talk on this game. I mean, Monmouth, what a wild season they've had. They lose their first 12 games of the season, and then they're looking really good in conference play. Monmouth at Ryder. Ryder opens up at 6.5-point favorites. Money's coming in on Ryder. There's 7.5s on the board. The total opens at 140. Now 142.5s on the board. So money coming in on Ryder. Money coming in on the over. What do you think here, Max?
Yeah, this is a pretty hard spot to go against what's been working. What's been working is betting against Ryder. people are not going to like these stats that I throw out, but I'm going to keep on going with them until they freaking cost me. This is a Rider team that's 1-8 ATS at home, 1-14 ATS at night, 2-11 ATS in conference. They're on a 5-game losing streak. The one thing that they do have ATS. Well, it's not an advantage. It's just something that they're even in this point range. Monmouth's 1-5 and Riders 0-5. I think that Monmouth is just going to have to play great defense tonight, which they have in this winning streak so far. This is a 4-game winning streak. It's been very surprising. I think that both these teams have the reputation for being loose on D, and they don't shoot free throws well, even though Monmouth shoots better. But they both force turnovers, and the easiest way for one of these teams to cover or beat the spread tonight is to create steals, get those fast breaks, get those easy open shots, fast breaks, or and one situations. So I'm going to look for Dion Hammond and Mustafa Traore to keep it going for Monmouth. You want to give me 7.5 points? I'll take it, and I'll also take them on the first half.
Wow, doubling up on Monmouth. You've done well fading Riders, so I can understand why you go right back to the well. Very interesting spot there. Let's keep rolling right along, but we're doing fine for time. We should be all good here. Now we come up to St. Peter's at Iona. Iona opens up as 8.5-point favorites, pretty much stayed there all day, although Intertops and Pinnacle are now down to 8. Total opens at 139.5. Now we have 137s and 137.5 and 137s. St. Peter's at Iona, Max. What are you thinking here?
Well, this game comes down pretty simply to two things. Well, do you want to bet on a team that isn't fluid offensively, does not have good ball movement, and turns the ball over constantly and in the worst times? Or do you want to bet on a team that hits their free throws and get on the offensive glass and plays decent three-point B? Well, I think that the team that can't move the ball, can't score the ball on the road, and turns the ball over is the team that I'm going to fade, and I'm going to get on Iona. Iona is a team that I like to fade when they're on the road. I see that they're 8.5-point favorites. I think tonight it's very possible for them to win by 7, but I'm going to just plug my nose, take Iona tonight, -8.5. This is a team that can score 80 points. They're going to hit their free throws. Ricky McGill and EJ Crawford are coming off a really bad shooting game for their standards, going 7 for 21, and I believe it's the reason why they lost. I think tonight they find their shooting stroke at home, and I think that Iona covers.
Wow, liking Iona. Big favorites. St. Peter's has spoiled a couple games against, as big dogs, but I can understand why you like them here. I'm going to stay off it, but I am joining Max on Davidson and doubling up with him. Now, it's a pretty interesting spot, Max. Pinnacle won't leave that -5.5 alone, but if you want Davidson at Pinnacle, -5.5 at -133. Now, every other book is at 6.5, but Bet Online's at -6. Again, you have to pay for it, -119. I am going to pay for it, though. I am going to pay the money there. I'm going to take Davidson first half -6 at -119. And again, at Bet Online, I'm going to take a -11 at -110 full game. That is Davidson that I'm jumping on. And I have decided not to jump on Cornell. I just fear that possible recency bias with that big comeback. And I'm going to stay off in that spot. Let's move on to Manhattan at Niagara. Niagara opening up as 5.5-point favorites. There's a 6 at 5 dimes, but 5.5 across the board. But it's juiced, and it's getting more and more juiced as we speak. Bet Online now -5.5, -116. This total opens up at 131.5 and is dropping slightly. 131 at Pinnacle, 130.5 market. Very interesting. Oh, and the 130 has just popped up at Bookmaker and Bovada. Max, Manhattan at Niagara.
Yeah, this is not going to be a popular pick, but I'm going to be going with Manhattan again tonight. I've been watching them play, and I'm not too angry or disappointed with how they've been playing in conference. I think that it's obviously important for Samir Studer and Tyler Reynolds to really be able to have good offensive games. We saw in the first game against Niagara that this team can put up 90 points, and the key for them is just obviously playing the quality of defense that we've been seeing from them so far this season. And they got to make free throws and they got to cut down turnovers. But it's hard for me to get on Niagara, even though Niagara may be the right spot. I just got to keep on riding Manhattan. And even though they're on the road as a dog, and last time they were on a road as a dog, they lost to Siena by 13 as an 8-point dog. I just think that this Niagara team is just nothing close to Siena defensively and offensively. And I think that Manhattan can frustrate them. I just think that if you let Marvin Prokid walk into 3-point shots, you're going to have problems. Niagara's not aggressive on ball handlers. And I think that their defense is leaky. So I'm just going to go with Manhattan tonight plus 5.5 points.
Manhattan plus 5.5 points. Wow. I can understand dating Niagara the way they've been playing. Excuse me. I did make a decision. I am jumping on Noli Knows' under in the St. Peter's Iona game. It makes sense to me. St. Peter's can really play slow and just bad basketball. I am going to jump on it. I'm getting the under 137.5. Oh, wait, let me see. Sorry, let me see if I can beat that line total real quick. Sorry, that market move get a little bit better. Then let me just, 1 second here. The under in the, oh yeah, no, that's the best I can get. Under 137.5 at 5 dimes. I'm going with Noli Knows in the St. Peter's Iona under 137.5 at 5 dimes. And you know what? I've decided that I didn't do this yesterday, and it cost me. And when you and Matt Randall's taint play of the day, and you agree with Cornell, I am going to jump on Cornell. I'm going to line shop in a minute. But first, let's move on to this next spot on the card here. Almost on this Friday card, and some juicy spots. And here is one that may be Marist at Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac opens as 5-point favorites, and money comes in on Marist. This total opens at 141 and drops down to 139.5 or 139 max. What are you thinking? This is the second last game on this Friday card. Marist at Quinnipiac.
Yeah, Maris's formula to win is pretty simple. Keep it slow, hit threes, and guard the perimeter. So I don't think that they're going to be able to do that tonight. You really saw Tyrese Williams have a really good game in the last game that they played against Iona. Cam Young came to play. They combined for 48 points. And, of course, my favorite Quinnipiac Bobcat, Rich Kelly, had a great game, 16 points, good shooting field goal percentage. And I think that you just got to keep on riding this Quinnipiac team. They are playing a team that statistically, they're even field goal percentage and field goal defense and 3-point D and free throws. But both are weak on the glass, and I think that Quinnipiac at home is going to have the advantage tonight. And this is a team that's 8-4 in conference, 14-8 ATS, and 8-3-1 ATS in conference. So you give me the dynamic scorer, and you give me Rich Kelly, I'll take it. So give me Quinnipiac. I will even jump on first half because I see Quinnipiac -1.5 at Pinnacle, -132, when everyone else is hanging a 2 and Bookmaker has a 2.5. So give me Quinnipiac first half. Give me Quinnipiac full game. Let's hit this double.
Wow, doubling up on Quinnipiac. Interesting, their money line's gone up, but the spread has gone down. I don't understand. Or sorry, the money's come in on the money line, but not, so it's so strange. Pinnacle opens at -5, and this is yesterday. By 11 o'clock at night, Quinnipiac's -3.5. And then early in the morning, it starts coming back, and then back to 3.5. And then today at noon, Max, Quinnipiac was -2.5. And then money coming back on Quinnipiac at -4.5. That is a very strange market move there. And I have jumped on Cornell with you guys. Elio says Jimmy Friday is fade the public day. I hear that. I am jumping with you here. And whereas I got Cornell -105. That's at 5 dimes. Interesting stuff. Let's see what's going on here. Rico Money says first half under 65 in the St. Peter's game. I'm on that full game. Corey Max is originally leading Marist, but market does not agree. Quinnipiac or no play. Corey Max is very true, Jimmy. Big flexes in this line. And some other stuff coming in. Fred Gialli, like in Toledo, +3, and St. Peter's under parlay. Ricardo Gutierrez parlaying Rivera, Gracie, and Cavillo. And Angel Romero coming in with, and Trenton Claxton, wow, says Marist first half over. Free money. Wow, Trenton Claxton very strong with this stuff. Well, Max, we've come to the final game on this card that we haven't broke down. Troy at Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern opening at -10.5. Then money coming in on Troy, now -9.5. And this total has dropped from 161 to 157 or 157.5, Max. What are you thinking here, Troy, Georgia Southern?
Yeah, this is a game that I'm not going to bet on till about 10-9 because I need to figure out what the status of Jordan Bernardo is. If Jordan Bernardo's in the game, then I'm taking Troy in the points. If he's not, then I'm laying off. I'm more attracted to the first half at +5.5, -121 at Pinnacle, more than anything. But as far as that game, I don't really have much on it because it really just depends so much on the status of Jordan Bernardo for them.
Yeah, I can understand waiting to get that information. Wow, Rizzler, you're absolutely right. Somehow, I missed one game on this card. My fault. Dartmouth at Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania not been shooting well lately. Opening up at -9. Money comes in on Dartmouth, and Pennsylvania is now 8-point favorites. This total's gone up from 143.5 to 145.5. Max, Dartmouth at Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I think that Dartmouth's in a good spot to sneak a cover in tonight. I think that they're shooting 49% field goal percentage in conference, 72% from the line. Brendan Barry finally had a good offensive game, which I was asking for. He had 21 points, first time that he's scored more than 20 since his 30-something point game against Boston U. I just think that if you got Brendan Barry, Chris Knight, and James Foy all going and hitting 3-point shots, I think that Dartmouth has a chance. Both teams are relying on the three-point shot, and Penn just hasn't been playing that great in conference. They've been blowing leads. They're just not playing aggressively, and they're not playing as well in second halves. I could see them getting out to a lead in the first half and seeing Dartmouth come back. But when you're shooting 62% from the line as a team and you're 1-5 ATS at conference, I got a problem with that. Don't get me wrong. I like Devin Goodman and Antonio Woods, but I don't know what's going on with Bryce Washington. He's been ice cold from the field, coming off a 1-10 shooting performance. You want to give me 8 points versus Dartmouth in a red and blue rivalry? I'll take Dartmouth tonight.
Wow, I can understand that. Also, money coming in on Davidson fast. There are now no more 11s on the board. There's 11.5 at Bet Online, but damn, I'm going to have to bet 12 now when I make that move. Money coming in on Davidson quickly. Very, very interesting. And Max, I would be remiss if I didn't ask, what is the LoBag play of the day? It cashed yesterday easily with Northern Colorado, and I'm very interested. We all are very interested on what your play of the day is.
Well, my play of the day is we've already touched on it. I believe that you're already on it. And I think tonight, Wright State and Northern Kentucky are going to have a game for the ages. They will be the marquee game at 9 o'clock. Who the hell wants to watch Troy and Georgia Southern when you got Horizon League 1 versus 2? Rematch of the first game. Can Wright State get revenge? Will Northern Kentucky put their boot in their ass, send them to Coxsoup Valley to graze on pissed-on grass? Well, I think so, and I think that this game is going over 141, so that will be my LoBag play of the day for my familia, the people, and reason why I'm here on the show tonight. Let's get it. 141 over Northern Kentucky, Wright State.
I am on that play. Wow. Didn't know that there was grass in Coxsoup Alley. Not only grass, but pissed on grass. Not the kind of alley I want to spend any time in. I like it, Max. I'm already on it. Max's play of the day, the over 141. Max, we got a couple things going on here. We're going to have number one's play of the day and some stuff going on here. You mind hanging out with us before we close out the show?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm hanging out.
Sweet. Okay, first off, let's roll. We got Argentinian soccer expert with his Argentinian soccer play of the day. Lucrative Larry, could you please roll number one's play of the day?
¿No les parece curioso que no haya aparecido la semana pasada en el programa? Algunos dirían que fue intencional. Yo creo que fue sabotaje de parte de Jimmy. No fue ni el TriCaster ni el Good Hangout. No. Es que él me tiene envidia porque sabe que soy el más capo, el más genio, el mejor. Él siempre me mete palos en la rueda. Me voy a vengar. Un día va a pasar algo. Se los aseguro. But let's forget about it. Because this pick, this weekend, is gonna be great. The game, Talleres de Córdoba versus Huracán, Superliga Argentina. Minus under 2.5 goals, minus 175. Available at Bet365. Why this pick? Because both teams, they have an average of under 1.2 goals per game. And the last 4 games between each other, they have scored only and less than 2 goals per game. That's ridiculous. So, they're low-scoring teams. Remember, minus 175 under 2.5.
It's number one's play of the day, and that's coming up tomorrow. Keep an eye out for that. And then we have more magic. Don't forget, we have more magic. I'm very excited about this. As always, we're ending the week on a high. Maxwell Smart, first off, where can we find you on Twitter, and what else are you up to this weekend?
You can find me on Twitter, MaxwellSmart420. I actually don't have much planned for the weekend. Just gonna work. Hopefully, make some money capping on this Saturday card. Even though Saturday is the day that I dread and don't even like to cap on. But of course, I will be on Twitter. DM me, comment on my post. We can break down some games. And of course, I'll definitely be putting out some free picks because that's what I'm all about. I'm not trying to make money doing this free pick stuff. So I'm just about helping you serve cock soup to your bookies, supporting local strippers, and of course, buy them very fancy G-strings. Maybe you get them boxes of chicken tenders, only from Popeyes, not the KFC or Churches. We want to get our strippers the good, greasy type that keep their butts full, and you know what's also full.
Wow, that was poetic at the best of times, wildly exciting at the worst of times. Maxwell Smart, thank you so much for joining us. And could you please, without further ado, please introduce none other than Lucrative Larry.
Of course. Thank you very much. Now it's my pleasure and honor to introduce to you someone with fantastic goddamn hair. Lucrative Larry.
Whoa. I was interesting. I was expecting Lucrative Larry, but what's up with Larry?
Larry's on his movie premiere.
Movie premiere?
Yes, he's in a movie.
He's in a movie?
Yes. You can show the poster, Rafa. Yes.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Gentle Rogue.
Gentle Rogue?
It's based on a novel. It's a sea captain called Ramon who falls in love with another sea captain called Ramon. Gentle Rogue. Don't laugh. You're sick.
Yeah, you're right. Wow, sounds like a wild tale of masturbation. Is it a softcore or hardcore?
It's based on a novel.
Okay.
Gentle Rogue.
Sure. Okay. That's some wild stuff. Why don't we just keep that poster right up there while you give your play? You do have a play.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. I'm parlaying 2 very good teams that were embarrassed at home in their last games. First, I'm taking the Winnipeg Jets at minus 1.5 at home over the Ottawa Senators at plus 110. And also, I'm taking the San Jose Sharks minus 1.5 over the Vancouver Canucks, also at plus 110, which gives me a plus 341 party at BetOnline. Gentle Rogue, look at that.
Yeah, Gentle Rogue. I gotta stay calm and not laugh. So I like your parlay. I think that makes a lot of sense.
I like my party too. Look at that thing, man. Gentle Rogue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Freddie, you mind closing up the show?
Sure. Thanks everyone for tuning in. This was the LoShack and the Bag Show. Make sure to follow, subscribe to our YouTube. Also, we will be on LA next week, right?
Yeah, in LA.
You will be in LA. I will be here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
a fucking loser.
Whoa, Freddie. Freddie, it's okay, man. Freddie, it's okay.
I want to go to LA.
I know you do. Okay.
Have a great weekend, guys.
Yes. Have a great weekend. Look out for Gentle Rogue coming to a movie theater near you.
Leche and los bookmakers.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.